Hello my friends, this is Sheikh Michal greeting you from Mathematical Bridge in Cambridge. But this video won't be about math. Actually, this video will be about reading. Reading is a very essential skill you need to have for just basic ability to have success in your life. To be able to read and comprehend. Because nowadays there is like epidemic of people who cannot read with comprehension. They read something, but there are many people who don't really get what the text says. And one reason for this is that you are not reading every letter. You are reading all the words and you are just guessing, and it's faster. Probably you have seen some pictures where there were words which had the first letter correct, the last letter correct, and everything in between was just switched. I made this mistake on purpose in the description of this video. And you can read it correct, even though it's not written correct. The problem is when you guess how it could have been and you are actually reading it wrong. And that happens many times, just many words are similar. English is a tricky language. It can be understood through thorough thought though. Try to read it. Through thorough thought though. This is just crazy. And you need to read every letter to be able to comprehend it. So what I started to do recently is that I started reading in different languages to get me to learn the alphabet anew, to learn to decode it and to pronounce it correctly in different languages. And I was one of those kids who learned to read themselves. I just asked my parents about what were names of certain streets that we were walking through, and I just divided it to each letters, and that's how I learned most of the alphabet, except of like X, Q, and these letters that are not used very much. So that's how I learned to read, and I'm doing it again, now in different languages. Currently I'm reading a tiny part of Bible every day, few verses, but I read it in English, in Spanish, in German, in Czech, in Russian, and in Greek. Now, why so many languages? Do I speak those languages? Actually, not all of them, but I think I will be learning Russian and Greek sometime in the future. And it just helps if you can read their alphabet. What doesn't really help is when you read in a language that you understand very much, because you will read and you will guess. I can, all of these languages, I can very fluently read in English, but I'm guessing. What actually makes me learn the most in Latin letters is German, because my vocabulary in German is the lowest of all of these four languages. So I have no other chance than reading every one letter to pronounce it correctly, because I just don't know what these words are, many of them. So that's how you learn. And then you return to a language that you speak, or actually to something easier that is better known to you, and you are able to speak much better, much more fluent, and it's just on a higher level. If you want to have some success in life, I guess you will need to be able to read, and except of very few people who just hide themselves completely, you will need to speak at some point, and being able to speak nicely is just great. Maybe you noticed that in this video I have a lot less of the empty words like Why? Because I was doing this exercise for like a week. And another thing, I can just pause it because I have a new mobile. That's cool! Okay, I'm back. So, this is just a very simple exercise that you can do, that you can get a little more knowledgeable. And yeah, let me know how you improve. It's actually fun to learn this thing. You need certain dedication, you need certain hard work that you put in it, but it's worth it. Definitely it's worth it. Try it and let me know. See you on the top.